Hi everyone. I often receive questions about connecting instruments and sequencers using their MIDI interfaces, and there are some concepts that I would like to explain or clarify in this short video. MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface and describes a standard communication protocol for transmitting so-called event data between instruments. Event data includes note pitch, note velocity, which means how hard you press the key, aftertouch, note movements, etc. Event data does not include audio signals, which means that MIDI data does not transmit any kind of sound that you could listen to. This is a typical 5-pin MIDI connector, and this is a typical 1/4-inch audio jack connector. The MIDI connector transmits event data, which is interpreted by an instrument, and the audio jack transmits audio data, which can be transformed into audible sound waves by a speaker. A MIDI instrument describes a device that creates audio signals which can be listened to through a speaker. For example, a music synthesizer, a drum machine, or a sampler. In order to tell these machines what kind of sound we want them to make when we press a key, we send them MIDI event data, which they interpret. So when I press the A note key on my MIDI keyboard, it tells my instrument, "Hey, I just pressed the A note, do something." The instrument receives this event data and checks what sound corresponds to an A note. This can be anything, from a snare drum sound to a phat, dubstep, wobble-bass. It depends entirely on the instrument and how you set it up, so the MIDI event data does not include any specific audio-related data. If your instrument is correctly tuned though, an A note should sound at the frequency of an A. But again, it's up to the instrument and your instrument settings. MIDI sequencers are devices that record a stream of event data and play it back to MIDI instruments. You can connect any kind of instrument to a sequencer, and the recorded event data will sound different with every device, because the event data does not include or specify sound. A typical MIDI connection looks like this. You have your MIDI keyboard, which sends event data to a sequencer's MIDI input. The sequencer records the event data. Then it sends the event data from its MIDI output to an instrument's MIDI input. The instrument interprets the event data, creates a sound, and sends it through the audio port to a speaker, where we can hear it. This was obviously just the tip of the iceberg, but it should give you a good overview on what MIDI actually is and how to use it. Feel free to post any further questions in the comments section below the video. Thanks for watching and have fun making music.